bill, it does
Hold
call
the
for
fuck
$650
up.
million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur,
So
Anderson.
you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make
Oh,
much sense
yo,
because he
we
actually
missed-
didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Ma'am, do you have a deportation plan?
She's Keene. She's from Philadelphia. She works as a fundraiser for Habitat for Humanity. She's registered with no party affiliation. She says she's a Democrat. She's leaning toward voting for you, but said she's yet to make her final decision in part because of the conflict in the Middle East. Annalise?
Thank you, and good evening, Madam Vice President.
Good evening.
My question is, as president, what would you do to ensure not another Palestinian dies due to bombs being funded by U.S. tax dollars?
So I will say, and I think this is to your point, far too many innocent Palestinian civilians have been killed. It's unconscionable. And we are now at a place where with Sinwar's death, I do believe we have an opportunity to end this war, bring the hostages home, bring relief to the Palestinian people, and work toward a two-state solution where Israel and the Palestinians in equal measure have security, where the Palestinian people have dignity, self-determination, and the safety that they so rightly deserve.
Ma'am.
What do you say to voters who are thinking about supporting a third-party candidate or staying on the couch, not voting at all because of this issue?
Listen, I am not going to deny the strong feelings that people have. I don't know that anyone who has seen the images who would not have strong feelings about what has happened, much less those who have relatives who have died and been killed. And I know people and have talked with people. So I appreciate that. But I also do know that for many people who care about this issue, they also care about bringing down the price of groceries. Wow. They also care about our democracy and not having a president of the United States who admires dictators and is a fascist. They also care about the fact that we need practical, common-sense solutions from a leader who is willing to work across the aisle on behalf of the American people and not themselves. They want a president who cares about a fundamental freedom to make decisions about your own body. Understanding that we're not trying to change anyone's belief, but let's not have the government telling women what to do with their body.
Ma'am, it's so fucked up that you would even go there, where you would exclude the man. A man gets a woman pregnant. He wants to have the baby. She deletes the baby without even talking to the guy. They talk to one another. He says he really wants it. She says she really don't. She has the autonomy. This man walks around heartbroken. Unbelievable.
Sandberg, she's a realtor, a mom of 4 from Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania. She's a registered Democrat, says she's undecided because of concerns about anti-Semitism. Beth?
Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you for remembering we need to bring the hostages home.
Of course.
The rise of anti-Semitism and violence from anti-Semitism has risen greatly on college campuses and on our city streets in the last year. How would you combat this growing trend and protect our young adults?
Thank you, Beth. You are right, and I will say that we have seen a rise in anti-Semitism. It is something that we have to be honest about and we have to deal with. As Attorney General, I actually published a hate crimes report on a regular basis and anti-Semitism.
Now, when you speak on this anti-Semitism, why don't they ever give the black people credit? Why don't they ever just say, look, as far as the anti-Semitism, as far as January 6th, black people never partook. They never took part in that. I have never, so they never give the black people credit for not being anti-Semitic, not taking part in January 6th. They just bunch you black folks inside of any sort of bag of tricks they want to.
Was among the highest forms of hate in our country, and this was before October 7. And Kelly the former chief of staff
Curtis, what's good,
of Donald
son?
Trump, who has told us, Donald Trump said, why aren't my generals like those of Hitler's?
Ma'am.
Like Hitler, who has referred several times, we've heard the reports for years.
Do you believe Donald Trump is anti-Semitic?
I believe Donald Trump is a danger to the well-being and security of America.
He has said that he's casting himself as a protector of Israel. Do you believe you would be more pro-Israel than Donald Trump?
I believe that Donald Trump is dangerous.
Good question. Finally, he got a good question. Because, you start talking about that stuff over there in the Middle East, they got to be very careful. She dodged that.
I believe that when you have a president of the United States who has said to his generals, who work for him because he is commander-in-chief, these conversations, I assume many of them took place in the Oval Office.
Wow.
And if the president of the United States, the commander-in-chief, is saying to his generals, in essence, why can't you be more like Hitler's generals, Anderson? Come on.
Hey, Curtis, if you there, if Kamala loses, her political career is over. Curtis, I don't know if you seen my series, but I'm doing this Kamala series leading up to the election. And like I say, she's the most powerful woman on the planet. And I will be breaking it down. I mean, I don't have a way that I'm going to vote just yet. But I will say she is the most powerful woman, and we're going to break it down on this channel.
No use. So, again, this election in 13 days is presenting the American people with a very significant decision. And on the one side, on this issue of who is going to model what it means to use the bully pulpit of the President of the United States
Emperor,
in a manner that in tone, word, and deed is about lifting up our discourse, fighting against hate, as opposed to fanning the flames of hate, which Donald Trump does consistently.
Yo, let me tell y'all something, man. This is going to be crazy because I'm telling y'all, man, as we get closer, like your boy Curtis said, he don't know who's going to win, but he damn sure can't say this one or that one because she has the Gladiator BW, rainbow community that you ain't never... Listen, see, it's immigrants. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't get it, man. She hung around black gladiators, so she is destined to fall. I mean, because I'm telling y'all, if she wins, you heard it here first. If Kamala wins, she will come out the closet.
I'm going to tell you, we are an incredible country, and we love our country. Y'all wouldn't be here unless we love our country. And there are certain things where we've just got to come together and realize that.
Listen, like I said, Curtis, you trying to get me to spill my beans, but I will say this. This is what I will say. Excuse me. If you count on black men to vote, let's say every black man votes. Fuck it. Let's just say every black man votes. You are outnumbered by the black woman just in those numbers. Then you have this range. See, that's why you can't call it every black man. You're not in that society, brother. I can't even say every black man because how many black men are rainbow? But they are counted as black men. So you can't even say, yo, every black man vote. It don't work like that. Some of those are rainbow. They don't identify as such. So you don't even have a full range of black men. And then you got to take out a percentage of black men who just are not going to vote, period. Then you got to take out the percentage of black men who are allies for Kamala, Ricky Smiley and D.L. Hewley. Then you got to count for those black men who are willing to work with rainbow community people, which a straight black man is not too friendly to work with rainbow community people and talk to the rainbow people and say, hey, this is the reason why you should vote for Trump. See what I'm saying? So the numbers, and then you start talking about the illegals, and then you start talking about Governor Walz giving out licenses to the illegals with no social security number. They're strengthening numbers. I'm not saying who's going to win anything. I'm just laying it out there like that.
We do believe in the importance of healthy debate on real issues, but there are certain standards we've got to have. And, you know, another point that even John Kelly talked about, I believe, and many have.
It's Emperor. It's a good number of black women voting for Trump. Yes. Okay. So you just washed out. Let's say you got the great number. So you washed out Ricky Smiley and them or the rainbow blacks. Because you got to understand, when you talk black people, you can't say, oh, black women vote this and black women vote that. Well, you can't do that because you have black man, black woman. You have black homosexual man, black homosexual woman. You have black trans man, black trans woman. So you got like 3 fucking brackets within inside the black, community, all divided. And what I'm learning, which we all know already, is that the straight black man will not friend anybody. He will not friend Asians, Indians, rainbows, or anybody. While all these other people are more together than the black man. And that's what kind of scares me.
January 6th, where you have the president.
Go a quick break. We'll have more from the CNN Presidential Town Hall with Vice President Kamala Harris.
I couldn't find any video of this stuff on YouTube, yo. So we just go with the audio. Now, because I went to Fox. Fox ain't even playing it on TV. And what happened is, so after they finish it, it's gonna get online. And guess what? We'll do it again. Cause y'all know me, B. I got that real Kamala work, man. I try not to.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
Don't trust.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
That trust,
Yes,
HRC, I believe we must speak
with
truth.
36%.
You didn't start a business just
Even-
to keep the lights on.
Even
Here to sell
when
one
it
today,
makes
then
people
yesterday.
uncomfortable.
You're here.
Even when others are
Lucky
silent.
you. Shopify built the best.
And as the poet Audre Lorde
I don't know
reminds
how
us,
to,
there are so many
I don't know how to
silences to
fast
be broken.
forward. It's live.
So let's speak truth. From Charlotte to Charlottesville, we have been reminded racism in this country is real. Sexism, anti-Semitism are real in this country. Homophobia and transphobia are real in this country. And we must speak that truth so we can deal with it. Let's speak truth. Voting rights in this country are under attack. Since the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, that is about caring for other people. And that guides a lot of how I think about my work and what is important.
Let's go to the voters. I want you to meet Joe Donahue from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. He works in customer service for a local retailer. He serves as a local election official. He's a registered Republican who says he's undecided, doesn't agree with your stance on abortion, but he is concerned about what he calls Trump's demeanor and actions on January 6th. Joe?
Thank you, Madam Vice President, and thank you, Anderson. Madam Vice President, everybody as human beings, we're not perfect. We have our flaws. We make mistakes. We have our weak.
Yeah, I saw that Eminem, man. We gonna cover that. I saw the Eminem thing. I was like, wow. I saw the Eminem thing. I was like, whew. It's just, like I say, we're in a new society, fellas and sisters, that I'm going to give y'all the breakdown, man. And you just have to understand. Governor Walsh said it earlier, and the stuff that I covered earlier that nobody else will cover. This will be the most rainbow administration you ever seen. Came out of Governor Walsh's mouth. This will be the most rainbow administration in history. I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you what it is. We all know it's been leaning this way, but y'all don't know why, how, who, what, when. Y'all don't know none of that. Unless you watch my channel. I'm going to bring, I'm just going to break it down all the way leading up to the election. Yeah, Eminem's crazy. But you must understand, Kamala she's a part of the elite group with Jeff Bezos and Nancy Pelosi. It's bigger than hip-hop, man.
Weaknesses, and the office of the presidency can sometimes bring those weaknesses out in ways that the incumbent may not expect. What weaknesses do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question, Joe. Well, I am certainly not perfect, so let's start there. And I think that perhaps a weakness, some would say, but I actually think it's a strength, is I really do value having a team. So I take my role and responsibility as an elected leader very seriously, and I know the impact it has on so many people I may never meet. And that is why I engage and bring folks around. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it.
Wow.
I'm kind of a nerd sometimes.
Yeah, let me tell y'all something, man. Yo, this woman is powerful. I'm trying to tell you something, Curtis. This woman, I wish nobody will ever get it because we're a small channel, but this is some different stuff. This is about Roe v. Wade. See, if she would come out and just say what the policy is, it would be fine, but she won't.
And some might call that a weakness, especially if you're, in an interview or just kind of, being asked a certain question and you're expected to have the right answer right away. But that's how I work.
I don't think I've ever heard the former president admit a mistake. A lot of politicians don't. Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. Wow. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Wow.
I want you to meet Pam Thistle. She's from Winmore, Pennsylvania. She's a realtor. She's a widow. Her husband, Mike, died just a year ago. She has two daughters in college. She registered with no party affiliation and says she's undecided. She has concerns about how you would handle the economy. Pam?
Thank you. And thank you, Anderson. And happy belated birthday, too.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And I'm really appreciative for you to be here and get to know you. When you talk about rich people paying their fair share, can you be more specific? Income taxes are already on a graduated scale, where the more you make, the higher percentage you pay in taxes. So the rich are paying a disproportionate amount in taxes as it is. Over 40% of Americans don't pay any income taxes. Also, the really high earners may move their money offshore if there are disincentives in the U.S. This could impact the economy. I would like to hear more nuts and bolts about your economic plans.
Oh, boy.
Sure. Thank you, Pam. So first of all, it is the case in the United States of America that billionaires on average pay less taxes as a percentage than teachers and firefighters and nurses.
Yeah. I'm talking about hard workers like pound the street, have some success.
Yes, no, I understand, but I want to just let's set the scene, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, we have some gladiator action. This gladiator's not taking it.
When I say that the richest among us need to pay their fair share, I am referencing that, and I need to reference that because sadly, Donald Trump, when he was president, gave tax cuts to the richest, to billionaires and big corporations, which added trillions of dollars to our deficit. So that sadly needs to be said in a way that should be obvious to your point, but is not given what he did. Now, in terms of what we need to do to bring down taxes.
Well, hold on. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm truly not. But I will say, I do remember when Biden and them got in office, they signed about 100 books. They signed like 100 executive orders. So you couldn't do something. Like, it's weird as hell that they did so much, but they say they can't do anything. It's the weirdest shit, man. I don't know which way I'm gonna vote. It's just weird though.
I have pledged and have a plan for a middle-class tax cut that would affect 100 million Americans, including, for example...
Man, why didn't you do it already? Unbelievable.
What we will do around small businesses, in terms of tax deductions, in terms of what small businesses are now being mired in terms of a bureaucracy around they have to fill out and do their taxes in a way that actually holds them back. Part of my plan includes extending a middle-class tax cut that would include a $6,000...
Ma'am, why didn't Biden do that? Why didn't you tell Biden to do that already? Why? You was waiting for you to get in? Like, let me know what's going on so I can vote for you. So you was waiting for Biden so you could have something that he didn't offer? Okay, tell me something.
$1 tax cut, essentially, a child tax credit for parents and young parents in particular, knowing that the vast majority of our parents have a natural desire to parent their children well, but not always the resources. So this is going to include an extra amount.
So you're saying, well, what you're saying is anyone under $400,000 won't have taxes raised, or are you saying that anyone above $400,000 will have a tax raise?
I'm saying that there is going to be a parity around what the richest people pay in terms of their taxes. Right now, Anderson, you know, the document, it is well documented that some of the richest people in our country have gotten away with a zero tax rate.
But if you're earning $500...
Right, my homie. Ma'am, do you have a deportation plan? See, that's the key question. But nobody's going to ask her that because nobody really gives a damn, you know. Now, she could have did all this tax stuff ahead of time. It's just so weird. If she would just be honest with me, I would vote with her. She would say, look, you know, we was holding this back, so when I win, there's something that I could offer to people that Biden couldn't. I mean, at this point, it's only 10 days left, you know?
$600,000, $700,000 under your plan, there's a good chance your taxes go up.
We can't have this conversation without knowing it's a very complicated situation, right?
It's not complicated. All you need to say is, look, in America, we afford American people the opportunity to be rich. And we're going to tax you for that. This is not some third world country. In America, you have the opportunity to get rich. That's a little more, you know, stable, you know, it's a little more digestive. Like, yes, in America, yes, we do have plenty of opportunity to get rich. They're taxing us for it. You know, it ain't what we want, but at least you're standing on something. I don't like just talking this jibber jabber.
You're talking about a small business owner. I'm going to cut taxes for small businesses, right? Because I know that they need.
Good point. She makes over $250,000. She make way more than that, man. I mean, these people, it's hard to get into this politics stuff because you know they got all the secret stuff. I mean, they do fundraisers, brothers and sisters. They do They do big time things.
Need the overhead, the money that they need for overhead to actually benefit the growth of their business, which benefits our economy as a whole.
Let's go to I want to reference something that about Pam. Pam, we mentioned her husband Steve died a year ago. You've talked about your mom, Kamala Harris, who died 15 years ago. What has grief been like for you? Do you still grieve?
Yeah, you don't stop grieving. You don't stop grieving. I mean,
Ma'am, do you have a deportation plan? What are we doing here?
I think that there is, there are like two sides to a coin when you have lost somebody you love. Or that two sides to a coin, that phrase becomes evident, which is if you have had the blessing of a close and
your brain, it's exceptional.
Thank you. That's crazy. They're gonna drop the live video. They didn't even let Fox broadcast this. I didn't see it nowhere on the internet. So I had to go to the audio just to have a little fun because we're gonna do this Kamala thing leading up to the election. So they're gonna drop the video and we'll break it down because I'm sure we're missing stuff.
Your heart, it's gotten you through a lot, from your first kiss to your first grandchild. So when your heart needs exceptional care, trust the experts
have found
at White
intentional
Plains
discrimination
Hospital.
against voters of color.
State-of-the-art arrhythmia
One
treatments.
even said black voters were targeted, quote, with almost surgical precision. Let's speak truth. Across this country, Americans worry that our government will take away their health care. And at this very moment, while we are here this evening, immigrants fear a knock on the door that could tear them away from their families. Let's tell the truth. Sexual harassment and assault are real in this country, from movie sets to newsrooms to factory floors. And we need to confront it. And let's tell the truth. From the United States Congress to the United States Census, LGBT rights are under attack.
There you have it. Let's go. You're not going to hear her talk about that at the damn town hall.
It's exceptional. It makes 35,000 decisions every day. So when it needs exceptional care, trust the experts at White Plains Hospital. When every second counts, our team diagnoses strokes faster, removing blood clots with expert precision.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do nothing about the commercials. It's 10 o'clock, so it should be finished now, so we should be able to get the live video. So I wanted to do this stream. We'll come back with more Kamala. But hold on. Let's get a little more of this LGBT stuff.
To the United States Census, LGBT rights are under attack. Under attack by a Justice Department that now stands on the side of discrimination instead of equality. Under attack by a Senate nominee who thinks homosexuality should be illegal, and a judicial nominee who says transgender children are proof of Satan's plan.
This is what you're going to hear once this woman gets elected. We're going to do the secrets. Oh, man, we're going to break this Kamala thing down all the way, son. You hear me? You will never hear this at a town hall. This is secret society shit that, like I say, when it comes to Donald Trump and them, it scares me because they won't pull these videos up. So that lets me know Donald Trump and them lying too. Because I don't see why they won't bring these videos up. CNN, Fox, I mean, I don't get it.
Attack by a Senate nominee who thinks homosexuality should be illegal, and a judicial nominee who says transgender children are proof of Satan's plan. And under attack by a commander-in-chief who wants to ban transgender troops who are willing to sacrifice their lives to defend our country.
We're going to get into all that when they drop this Kamala Harris live joint, right? And we need to really, really break down the military jobs that people who have transitioned. What do they really do in the military? What is the most common transgender job in the military. We're going to dive into that.